So welcome back guys to another video, and if you're a big Sega fan, then you guys know this past week and a half has been a great one. From the announcement of the highly anticipated HD remaster of Shenmue 1 and 2, to another Genesis plug-and-play, to of course Sega Ages being announced for the Nintendo Switch, and not to mention the recent release of Yakuza 6, The Song of Life, which I highly recommend. But the one thing that Sega said that was a huge bombshell for me that really intrigued me the most was them announcing that they wanted to release a Dreamcast and Sega Saturn games to the Nintendo Switch. Now, I will say this, I absolutely love the Dreamcast. It's probably my favorite console of all time, but I will say comparing it to the Sega Saturn, the Sega Saturn is harder to emulate, and collecting for the Saturn is just really expensive. So hearing an alternative way from Sega to actually play some of these games really got my hopes up. So with that being said, I want to talk about 5 games I want on the Switch. Starting first with the staple of Saturn platforming, Nights into Dreams. Since Sonic didn't have his own unique exclusive to the console, Nights in many ways became the mascot of the Saturn, and rightfully so. Nights is a 2.5 on-rails platformer with colorful graphics, solid controls, and memorable soundtrack. This would be a great title on the Nintendo Switch. Not to mention, Nights' only sequel was an exclusive on the Nintendo Wii, so maybe with the popularity of this download, Sega will make Nights fans' dreams come true with a much anticipated new game. Fighting Vipers. Now I'll go ahead and say if a Virtual Fighter is to Tekken, then Fighting Vipers is to Battle Arena to Shinen, because it plays very similar. One thing I love about this game is not only is its cage match mechanic and atmosphere, but the fact each character has their own unique weapons and armor that will get damaged the more you fight. I mean, one kid has a skateboard as a weapon, that's pretty awesome. And that dynamic adds some grit to the game that's very arcadey, but it's not taking itself too seriously. It was ported to the Xbox Live Arcade on the 360, so why not add some online play and go on the go with the Switch. Astal is a beautiful platformer on the Sega Saturn, dare I say a hidden gem, since it's not talked about much outside of Saturn collecting connoisseurs. The hand-drawn sprites, the charming music, while the story is okay, it's your stereotypical save the princess, the fact this game is also having co-op would make sharing the Joy-Cons a super enjoyable experience. Radiant Silvergun. Developed by Treasure, is an exclusive to the Sega Saturn until later it was ported on the Xbox 360. It's a vertical scrolling shoot 'em up, and the player is given a wide arsenal of weapons from the start of the game. You have 3 primary weapons. You have a straightforward but weak homing projectiles, a spread shot with 2 powerful exploding lasers on different wide ranges, and you even have an awesome sword. Combining that with all the new weapons and upgrades can cause some super awesome combo eye candy. Needless to say, this is a shooter with a lot going for it, and its predecessor Ikaruga is another favorite of mine, so this would be a great title to play while waiting on your table to be available at Chili's, or maybe after a long day with your favorite beverage. Guardian Heroes is another gem from Treasure, and it's a unique brawler with some RPG elements. The graphics are just amazing, showing how much the Saturn was truly a 2D powerhouse. The customization to your fighter can add a nice progression to your replay value, and the jumping to the forefront and background like Fatal Fury adds a little bit more depth to this game. The co-op will be super welcomed on the Switch, as well as the fun deathmatch mode where you turn into any sort of character and duke it out with your friends, even playing as some of the NPCs. If any Sega Saturn game gets a port, this one is on the top of my list. Anyway guys, that is my top 5 Saturn games I would love to see on the Nintendo Switch, and don't get this twisted, this isn't my top 5 favorite Saturn games of all time, but games that I felt like would really utilize what the Nintendo Switch has to offer with that home console handheld hybrid thing that we love about the Switch. And I do have to say, if you guys have 5 Saturn games you want to recommend that you would love to see on the Switch, be sure to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video and want more content, be sure to hit the bell. It's going to be beside the subscription button, and this will notify you on all future uploads on this channel. Anyway guys, as always, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming.